your forecast first. Sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Take a look at our view here to the east from Champaign. If you've been out at all tonight and you look out to the sky off to the north and east, it has been quite the light show out there with lightning strikes that are just constant. That is heat lightning. We get a lot of time in the summertime, basically from storms that are too far away for you to actually hear the thunder. And that storm is all the way in Fountain County and Warren County, Indiana, which is 50 miles away. So that's how far that lightning actually is. But we're able to see it here. Now, we are watching for maybe additional storms to fire here overnight tonight. But boy, is it warm. 74 in Champaign, 76 in Effingham. With the humidity in there, it feels like 86 in Springfield. Another hot one tomorrow. More about the storms in the forecast when we come back. WCIA3 News starts right now.
Now from WCIA3 News.
When I tried to speak to her, she shut me down. Every question she just said, I don't have to answer that.
One woman is furious after bed bugs spread through an apartment complex, and she says no one was warned. The pandemic has had a big effect on everyone, including babies, what some could be missing out on. You may be hearing a lot of fireworks at night, and that means big business for one industry.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 10.
That it was handled very badly. Obviously, she's not forthcoming with any information.
That woman found out bed bugs spread through the apartment complex she lives in, but she says the bigger issue is that the property manager knew about it and didn't warn the tenants. Good evening, I'm Jessica Coons. This is happening at Lake Forest Apartments in Danville. A woman who lives there contacted us to get the word out because she says the apartment management won't answer any of her questions and is keeping information from other people who live there. WCIA3's Jennifer Jensen has the story.
Last week, a Lake Forest apartment tenant discovered something disturbing.
My girlfriend started to get bites in her sleep. One night she woke up and caught one of the bugs, I think as it was feeding on her.
Alyssa Rom's apartment had bed bugs in it. She contacted Terminix, and they said something that startled her.
There was a huge infestation in one of the adjacent apartments.
That's when she went to the property manager to ask when they first knew about it and what, if anything, was being done to fix it. But she was stonewalled.
She said that they should have never given us that information. She wouldn't answer any questions. She said that if we had a problem, have your lawyer call my lawyers.
Meanwhile, she and her girlfriend decided to stay at a hotel for the past 2 nights.
Very stressful, a lot of what are we going to do? Obviously, we still pay rent here.
Rom says what bothered her as much as the bed bug infestation was the way the apartment manager handled it.
I think it was very unprofessional not to alert other residents. And not only that, but as a human being, I think she has an obligation to let other people know that, hey, there's an infestation here, maybe in other buildings. There's hundreds of people here that might not have any idea any of this is happening. So we found out because we were unlucky enough to be next to a hot spot of bed bugs.
Since the manager wouldn't answer any of her questions, Rom is left wondering what to do next.
They gave us a waiver. It didn't say how they were going to treat it, but that we needed to get certain things prepared and do this and that. And basically to sign that if anything got damaged, they weren't responsible.
The manager at Lake Forest Apartments refused to comment on the tenants' complaints or answer WCIA's questions about how this is being handled. Reporting, I'm Jennifer Jensen, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
The woman in that story says her lease is up in 2 months. She had planned to stay, but after this, she'll be moving out as soon as she can. We have a follow-up for you. There will be a candlelight vigil to honor 3 people who were shot and killed at a Springfield business. Police say Michael Collins shot 3 co-workers at Bun-O-Matic on Friday morning. Springfield police are finalizing their investigation at the scene. The Morgan County Coroner's Office has turned over their inspection to state police. That county was handling the area where Collins was found. Police say he shot himself. Tomorrow night's vigil will be at 7 o'clock at Centennial Park. And funeral services for a Champaign County deputy have been postponed. Taylor Briggs' funeral was supposed to be on Wednesday. The funeral home says further details will be provided in the future. Officials say Briggs died unexpectedly from an unknown medical condition last week. A Champaign man was electrocuted after hitting a power pole. It happened last night on East Bradley Avenue near Matthews in Urbana. Police say 54-year-old Andy Jackson crashed into the pole. The live power line hit and killed him when he tried to get out of the car. The percentage of positive coronavirus tests is down across the state. It's now at 2.7% for the last 7 days, down from 3%. 738 new cases were announced in Illinois for a total of more than 142,000. There were 14 more deaths, totaling around 6,900 people across the state. Health officials say they're getting a lot of complaints about businesses after Phase 4 started on Friday. There were about 10 complaints in Champaign County. Most were about bars like this one, where people weren't distancing or wearing masks. Health district leaders say they are following up on those complaints and talking to those businesses, but they're also working to come up with a way to enforce punishments.
Sometimes we have a health permit in a facility, and such as a restaurant or a bar, and we may be able to suspend the health permit for that. But really, our enforcement tools are very few, and that's one of the problems that we're working on this week with the city officials.
Health officials will be meeting with both city and county leaders this week to come up with that plan. Pools are also allowed to open back up, but some aren't sure if it's safe to swim during the pandemic. Public Health says there's no evidence that COVID-19 can spread in water, but you still need to be careful in areas around the pool. The capacity at all swimming facilities has been cut in half during Phase 4. New for you tonight, new numbers show the housing market is making a comeback after activity slowed down this spring because of COVID-19. The National Association of Realtors says an index measuring pending sales jumped by a record 40% last month. Realtors in Champaign say housing prices aren't dropping too low at the moment because more people are showing an interest in buying.
The longer they've been home, the more they're kind of looking at the house they're in. And they're thinking about, you know, if I'm going to spend more time at home, here's some things I'd really like to have in my home. And in some cases, they're able to go back and make some changes. But, you know, if you're in a rental, there's not much you can do to modify where you're living.
He says he is seeing more first-time buyers. It's been challenging showing homes because of the virus, but they've been able to do virtual tours as well. It's a given that babies will experience lots of firsts. First steps, first words, first time at the pool. But babies born during this pandemic are missing out on some firsts while gaining entirely new ones. WCIA3's Jen Lask shares how COVID-19 is affecting them.
Early childhood educators are asking what the pandemic will mean for babies and toddlers' social skills.
I wonder just about child development, even what it's going to be like for little, 9 months old, 8 months old, who are now being raised in the last several months of their life without seeing faces.
It's a question that hit close to home for a member of our own WCIA3 family, Maggie Hockenberry, whose son Gibson was born in November.
As you were pitching this idea, Jen, I thought to myself, this is my life. This is every day what I'm dealing with. My mom friends, this is what we talk about. This is 2020.
Gibson was born during the peak of flu season, so he wasn't out too much then. And by the time the weather began warming up here, COVID-19 hit, meaning...
When you asked me what's Gibson's favorite park, I was sad to say we haven't been to the park. This is his first interaction. We love to take family walks in the evening.
And Maggie doesn't know when some of those other firsts will happen, like a trip to the zoo or a Mommy and Me class.
When Gibson was first born, my mom brought down this scrapbook, and it was filled with pictures of my firsts, and all of those had happened within the first month or two of my life. And of course that was 27 years ago, but I feel like some of those moments that I still want to experience with my son.
She wonders how that will shape Gibson's first year.
With babies, they know so little when they're born, and then they're supposed to continue to grow and develop. He continues to grow and develop. There's no concern about that, but some of that socialization is just not in play right now.
But at the end of the day, Maggie says the top priority is keeping Gibson safe.
I'm protecting another life.
In Champaign, Jen Lask, WCIA3, your local news leader.
Some early childhood educators are planning to wear face shields in classrooms and daycares to help young children get used to seeing facial expressions on new faces. There will be at least one community-wide fireworks show in central Illinois. What you need to know if you decide to go. Plus, one school district wants to bring more quality into its schools, how they're doing it with input from people who live there. And later, he was one of the best relief pitchers in Illini history. We'll tell you who he signed with.